Hello. Tonight, I'm celebrating a success with you. It's important for me in this journey to put my vulnerabilities, my frustrations out there. It's important for me to catalog sort of how I'm learning to move through the world. I feel like a baby deer, just like getting her little standings places. And when I stumble and when I succeed, I want to be able to share that, because I feel like people share a lot of good advice about the healing journey, but they often leave out the nitty-gritty little details of theirs, and that is what I look for in the journey. I don't need someone else's roadmap, but I like to know someone else's idiosyncrasies, someone else's fall down moments mixed with their like achievements. If we're going 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and that sort of old mindset, I just am like very intrigued by what the steps are, because people are interesting and life is interesting. And tonight was a fucking huge step forward. Stand-up class was so fun. There were parts that were a little bit cringy, and those relate probably mostly to my own like things that are triggering me in life right now. Showed up in very small, delicate ways just for me to sort of be able to reflect. I also vowed to show up as my whole self, so it was dope because we had like these individual little tables, right? The class is at a comedy club, and so there's these individual little tables where they would normally, you'd set your drinks, and I was able to set up my notebook, and I had my rose quartz, and I had my other creator crystal wand thing, and I had my anxiety dinosaur and my Sharpies. I'll post a picture of it. It was very satisfying, and I just gave no fucks about judgment. I just owned it. We were able to bring dinner. I had a Chipotle salad, like split into 2. Like, I just set myself up. I had a Def Leppard sweatshirt to like be my security blanket when it was chilly. It was a joy. And there were some really warm and interesting people. I remember feeling a little nervous and feeling like everyone's so different from me. And then as people got up to speak, I found each of them so endearing, and I found connection points with each of them. And I also saw my role. This is often a theme, again, in yoga teacher trainings and writing classes. It's more vulnerability. The further you let people in, the more reach you have with them. The more transparent and like open-handed I am in bringing you along in my journey, the more connection we build, the more you're like engaged in the story. And that works whether I want to motivate you, whether I want to move you, or whether I want to make you giggle. So that was really fun to see. And we had to get up on stage for 5 minutes and just answer 3 questions. How did we hear about the place? What did we want to share about our lives? Where might there be comedy? Who are we, etc. And then what did we want to get out of the class? And I was nervous, but like subtle nervous, calm nervous. And I think I went 6th out of 9. And by like the 4th or 5th person, I just started writing little things on my hand to talk about. And I went up there, and it felt like a little mini open mic night almost. And it was so fun. And the point of me telling you this is that I have talked about this, or dreamt about this, or idolized this idea, or had those I could do that moment, or sat in cringy comedy shows and thought, oh my god, I could actually do that though. And I've never moved the needle further than thinking about it, because I just was scared. And it feels so good not to be scared. It feels so good to be okay with discomfort, but to not call it fear. And I had fun, and I am already excited about next week. I'm like up bulleting what I want to talk about next week, how I want to build this out. I'm having so much fun. So here's to conquering our fears. Not in one huge sweep. Like, it doesn't have to be so dramatic. It's just actually one breath at a time, one small step at a time. It took me talking about something for 10 years to get me to a place where I am in an okay space of love to be able to try something new and put myself out there and have fun and giggle. And hot damn, it feels so good. And I do not feel like I missed time or I arrived late to this hobby, this little, joy moment. I know that I'm right on time because life is continually preparing us for what is in store. And instead of fucking fretting about it or trying to control it or change it or fast track it, what happens if we just breathe, follow the stepping stones, meet ourselves with love, and meet others that way too? How does that change how we move? How does that change how we feel? How does that change the size of the fear? I still had nervous energy tonight, but I would get up and move around. I moved around on stage. I came out and had everyone take a deep breath and talked about how I was a yoga teacher, and that was how I was comfortable starting. And that's how I want to start my gig. That was the point of the crystals and the Sharpies. You can make any situation your own as soon as you're okay enough with you to do so. No one is going to stop you or judge you except for you. So, what if we let that go?